All right, guys, well, I'm back today with probably one of my favorite high value and budget 9mm handguns that I've purchased recently, the Girsan Regard 6 imported by EAA. Now, I work with EAA on reviews of some of their new handguns. They've sent me 2 or 3 to the channel over the years to try out, but this one I actually purchased from American Pawn and Gun Used, located in Monroe, North Carolina. These guys are always helping me out with different things, and if you head over to their shop, tell them 704 Tactical sent you over, and they'll hook you up with some deals. And as soon as I saw this at their shop, I knew I had to grab it. Now, I picked this one up used, but there's a lot of new variations actually in stock over there, so that was pretty cool to see. It was in like new condition, and when I picked it up in my hands, it was incredibly ergonomic. Now, I've already reviewed the Girsan Regard before, but it was the standard version. If you're unfamiliar, these are Beretta 92 copies or clones. Before we get too far into the overview of this particular handgun, I do want to give a huge shout out to Callaway Ballistics for sending the 9mm over to the channel to help us make these videos. These guys have Newman and Reman 9. They just did price drops. They also have Subsonic 9, Hollow Point 9, Subsonic 300 Blackout, and a ton of different calibers, all at affordable prices. And I've got the code 704 Tactical for free shipping on ammo orders over $200 from Callaway Ballistics. Definitely check these guys out. Now, inside the box, you get the pistol, one mag, and a few other little accessories, but nothing to write home about. And the reason why I wanted something like this is because it takes the reliability of the Girsan Regard and it transforms it into a little bit more of a competitive nature pistol. A really good range use pistol, but it's still definitely adequate for a home defense handgun. The fact that it's a steel frame handgun and a large frame handgun allows it to suck up that recoil and really have a minimal recoil impulse to take shots with quick succession, transition from target to target, and do mag dumps without worrying about straying too far away from your target. All the controls are almost exactly the same as a Beretta 92. You've got the mag release. You also have the decocker built into the safety itself, and you can carry that with the safety on or off. It's got that double action trigger pull that we're pretty familiar with. If you've tried one of the Girsan Regards, there's not too much difference between this and this 6-inch model, but I'll show you guys on camera. It's a fairly smooth but heavy trigger pull, definitely long. The reset, though, is very audible. Not necessarily super tactile, followed up by a little take up, then you hit this defined wall. And man, is it a crisp break. Again, we are talking about a well under sub $500 handgun that's really set up for almost competition use. It's got really nice slide serrations on the slide itself and up at the front of the slide for press checks. And everything about the controls, again, are very similar to a Beretta. Now, this is a little bit different. It's got some finger grooves here, but they're not overly pronounced, allowing you to get a good hold on the handgun. And you can swap out some grips with this. I like to use lock grips. I also have a code with those guys, 704 Tactical, I believe, for 10% off. There's going to be some slight variations between these grips and the Beretta grips. You may have to adjust some holes or file a few edges, but you can generally get them to fit pretty darn easily. The mag release on this handgun is really nice. You can easily access that with not breaking your grip too much. The grip profile is very slim on this handgun. It does have some nice texturing on the back to get a good hold on it. And again, those finger grooves are fairly ergonomic. It does have a slight undercut in the trigger guard. Now, this also has very rounded and smooth edges, so there's no high points or sharp points to kind of catch or get your hand. It also has a shelf in the front if you wanted to wrap your finger around the front. I don't do that, but that's definitely an option. This one does have a pick rail, again, making it a viable option for personal defense or home defense. I don't use a handgun unless it has a pick rail with a light on it for home defense, just something to consider. That extra little bit of barrel length also gives you an extended sight radius, allowing you to take more accurate and precise shots at a distance, and I found that this handgun was a tack driver. When it comes to reliability and performance, it was 100% functional down at the range with every type of ammo I put through it, including all the Callaway ballistics and even a little bit of steel-cased ammunition. And again, that's what lends this to a very high value and budget range pistol, but also a great personal defense handgun. Also, when you pick up this handgun with that added weight, We already talked about that recoil impulse, but the whole nature of the handgun, just the way it handles recoil and the way it feels in your hand just makes it incredibly nice to just point shoot, take shots in rapid succession, use it for a competitive nature or in a stressful scenario. It's just very ergonomic and it points naturally, so you don't have to fumble with lining up the sights, because once you get a little practice behind it, it just points so naturally your sights are going to be on with, again, a little bit of practice down at the range. I love the fact that everything about this pistol feels like a premium $600 and $700 handgun, but at about the $400-ish price point, depending on where you buy it. Again, I would like to try more variations of the Girsan Regard. I've put some requests in with EAA, so we'll see what they say, because I'm really excited to try out a few different versions. But if you thought about getting something that's between like a hybrid, between like a personal defense, a home defense, and maybe even a competition handgun, I would not pass this up. It's a great option, and I'm really glad I bought one down at American Pawn and Gun. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.